Hey, Elliot. How's it going?
I am doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to tonight.
No, you're doing goddamn well. Your points are ridiculous, dude.
Thank you.
Hey, so Dylan, I believe the last time we talked was the right towards the end of preseason. The preseason schedule was wrapping up. And then obviously getting ready for the regular season. And I remember opening night, I had this conversation with Ted Leonsis, and I want to know if you agree with me. I said to Ted while walking around, the national hockey media is being very, very disrespectful to this Capitals team, who I feel like have done an excellent job retooling themselves coming off of last year going into this year, and was not giving you guys enough credit going into the start of the season. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think we definitely talked about it as a team. Like, we knew that people still, doubted us, and still, after last year, still didn't think that we, had a great, a good chance of scoring lots of goals or being competitive with the good teams in the league. I think through 14 games, we definitely showed that we can be competitive with those teams. We've found a way to beat some really good teams at home. Struggled a little bit on the road against two really good teams in Carolina and Tampa, but I feel like we've played pretty well throughout the start of the season, and it's not surprising to us, but might be surprising to some other people around.
Hey, did you think you'd have 22 points 14 games into the season?
I don't think I thought that. No, to start the season. No, I definitely always have believed in myself and my abilities, and I know we have some great chemistry on our team, and I don't think anyone could have predicted we would score as many goals as we've scored so far. But I felt like we knew we were a better team, and usually when you add the right pieces to a team, it seems to kind of all mesh together, and I feel like that's what's kind of happened so far. Just we feel confident going into games that we can hang with anyone, and that's a good feeling to have.
You know what, Dylan, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like, if you go back to preseason, you were skating on that line. It was you, Ovechkin, and Mangiapane were skating on that top line, and then we got, I think, about 2 games into the season. It was like, well, we're changing. And Alexei Protas became part of the of that line with you and Alex. And at first I was like, uh-oh, I don't know if we're like, and again, nothing against him. He's just a younger kid, right? But in my head, I was like, I don't know if that line, oh my God, that line is clicked and is working beautifully together.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a testament to the coaching staff. They made that switch after one game. And it's just clicked really well ever since that. Pro is, a guy with such a big, long stride, and he can find his way behind the other team's net. He helps a lot in the defensive zone. I think he makes great moves all around. And it's just been a great combination to have. So, we've loved playing with him so far, and he's producing, which obviously is a huge part of trying to help the team win.
Hey, also, I was reading something, Dylan, and maybe we can get a little hockey nerdy here, if you don't mind. But I was reading something where you were talking about how one of the beauties of, I mean, listen, it sucks that Nicholas Backstrom is on LTIR. But one of the beauties of him being here is his ability to watch the team and see the team and specifically spend time with you and talk about how to be the right center for Alex Ovechkin, how to be, I guess, the correct center for Alex Ovechkin. Kind of nerdy a little bit, but like what kind of stuff does he tell you?
Yeah, so it was more last year when he was on the team, and the lines were kind of shuffling all over the place, and I was playing with Ovechkin during last year when he was there, so more at the beginning. But it was kind of just, it's just like Ovi is a guy that really likes to get open in the offensive zone. He's not one that's going to carry the puck up to the neutral zone a ton. So just finding ways to get him the puck and in the right areas, not just directly deferring to him and like in your own zone or in the neutral zone. Try to spread the puck all over the ice, and then where he's kind of going to be in the offensive zone. So that's kind of what I watched from him, and kind of what that we talked about a little bit at the beginning of last year. So he's around a little bit now. We kind of see him every year, so often. But I think he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to step on anyone's toes. He doesn't want to,
Sure.
He's out of the team obviously right now. So it's, it's one of those things that he's going to be a Caps legend forever, and I'm assuming his number is going to be in the rafters at some point. And it's something that everyone watched him play, and everyone saw how good he was. So it's just anytime you can get a little tidbit from him, it's huge.
Hey, Dylan, can I ask you another Ovechkin question? I mean, obviously a lot's been made. He's off to a good start. He's got 10 goals so far. Your name has been attached to every one of them on the assist list. Although I did laugh when you were like, great, I'll be on every one of them except that one. But do we, with him being off to such a great start and popping in goals the way that they're going in right now, does Gretzky come up around him or in the locker room, or do we treat it like a pitcher with a no-hitter in the 8th inning?
No, I think it was probably somewhere in between. It's definitely not something that you can't talk about. I think it's just something that Carberry said yesterday in his media. He said that in his media availability yesterday, he said that Ovi's a guy that is so focused on his next game and his next goal. He's more focused on goal number 11 than breaking the all-time record at this moment. You know what I mean? So I think he's really focused on the next goal, the next game, as opposed to I'm 32 goals away. I think if you do that, no one can get 32 goals in a game. No one can get 32 goals even in a month. So, there's lots of time down the road, to talk about that. And I'm sure when it gets closer, it'll be brought up more. But I would say as for right now, it's kind of just, keep racking them up and let's keep doing this thing and let's get it done this year.
So we talked about how the Dylan Strome line, your line, is clicking with Ovechkin in Protoss. The Pierre-Luc Dubois, Tom Wilson, Connor McMichael line is flying. That fourth line, we even talked about it at the beginning of the season, Dylan, with Nick Dowd and Radish and who am I forgetting? Oh, Duhaime. Yeah, Duhaime.
Yeah.
I love that line. That line is still so much fun to watch. But we've and I don't want this to come across like I'm being a dick. That third line of finding that right chemistry has been a little bit off. And listen, I mean, you could watch and he's trying and changing some stuff around. When the Lars Eller news came down yesterday that we had traded for Eller, at first I didn't know what to make of it, and then sat with it for a moment and was like, okay, you know what? Let's bring back a center. He's going to be a third line center. Maybe it gives some stability. He's got history with some of the guys on the team. He's been in it for a while. Maybe it gives a little bit to that third line where now we've got all four lines that are clicking. And listen, in some cases that line is, but maybe there's a little more stability. And I think I came away with the second part being these games count. These points count. You see teams make changes at the trade deadline. But if you can make a trade now and maybe fix what has been, I don't want to call it a problem, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why not do it now? And I came away going, maybe this helps that line. And also, what a great vote of confidence in the team.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with pretty much everything you just said. I think, we're in a fortunate situation where, not every team's lucky enough to have, three lines with very, very good chemistry right now. And I wouldn't even say that the third line right now doesn't have great chemistry because they've found a way to score some goals that when we needed a goal.
Sure.
They've got 6 or 7 goals at 5-on-5, which is obviously very important. I think just, lots of guys are very familiar with Lars. He's a great teammate. He's a really super nice guy, and he also can win some faceoffs. He penalty kills. He plays in the power play sometimes. He's kind of a really versatile guy, and I think, like Carberry said, just kind of his familiarity with the area and the team. I think it's just it's definitely early to be making moves, but hey, like you said, if they think that's an area of need, then it's only going to make our team better. So it's exciting to have, like you said, like that vote of confidence from the organization that they see a potential issue that may come up or a potential area that they think that can make stronger, and you got to be happy with that.
We talked about also Matt Roy joining the team, Jacob Chikrin joining, your old roommate, Jacob Chikrin joining the team. Glad that they're back and playing regular, like their whatever nagging injuries they had are gone. But another person that we had mentioned right before the season started is Dylan McIlrath. And I love his story. I love that kid. I mean, he's a man. That he cracked the lineup. He made the team. That video that came out of him doing the starting lineup in the locker room. I love his story. His story is great.
Yeah, he's the best. Like I'm fortunate enough that my little brother plays on Hershey, obviously, and got to play the last 2 years with McElrath, and he's never said one bad word about the guy. Like he's said he's the best captain he's ever had. And you can kind of just see here, like obviously he hasn't played in the NHL, too much, but he's just a leader, like a natural born leader. He just, when he talks, people listen. He likes to have fun. He likes to keep it light. He's, up there with the toughest guys in the league, as shown in his first 2 fights of the year. And it's just a great guy to have on your team. He's not going to shy away from anyone. He does his job, very well. Chipped in with a couple assists. He's been a plus player. I mean, not enough good things you can say. And just like you said, a story like that. He hasn't played a full year in the NHL, I don't think, in his career, and he's on track to do that now. And someone that got drafted, I think, in 2010, so 15 years ago,
right?
15 years ago. That's a pretty remarkable story. So, kudos to him.
Who was more excited after the Matt Rempe fight, the bench or Dylan McElrath?
I'm going to go with the bench. Obviously, Rempe, we played him last year in the playoffs, and he knocked a couple guys out with some hits and some things like that. And listen, he's an effective player. He does a good job when he's on the ice, and he can lay guys out, and he makes massive hits, and he backs it up, and he fights. So, they have a good one in him as a hockey player, and I'm happy that McElrath, did pretty well against him, I would say.
Hey, so tonight we get the Toronto Maple Leafs banged up a little bit. I know Matthews didn't play last night. Pacioretty, not that he was adding a ton, but is also off the ice. They got a couple of other guys that are banged up. They lost last night, so they're on a second half of a home and home. Great opportunity to pick up 2 points tonight.
100%. You said it exactly right. All those things adding up. We had kind of the similar situation, though, when Pittsburgh came to town last week, and they were on the second half of back-to-back, and they had lost the game before. So, whenever teams lose, and especially when they're coming back, right after, they don't want to, have 2 losses in 24 hours. So, it's going to be a good game. They're, a highly skilled team. We didn't beat them last year. We lost all 3 times, pretty badly, too. So I know, we're going to want to win one for Carbs here against this former team, and hopefully we can do that tonight.
Hey, does the media, back-to-back games, does the media make too much about back-to-back? And how Dylan, how old are you?
27.
Okay, you're healthy enough and a strong enough kid. You can play back-to-back nights. But the media makes it sound like it's so freaking hard to play back-to-back.
I think it's just, I don't think it's necessarily that hard to play. I think everyone does it. I think that the big thing is that the one team is rested and the other team is not rested. I do think that it plays a big factor in the game. Like when so pretty much they finished the game at 10:30 last night, 10:30. They're getting on probably driving their cars to the airport. Got to go through customs. Probably not getting to Washington till around 1:30, and then you still have the adrenaline from the game. They're probably not getting to bed till around 2 a.m. You'd think. So it's just a whole different day. It definitely plays a factor in the tiredness level, but once you get on the game and you can kind of weather the first period, I think it turns into pretty much a normal game. But I definitely think there is something to it.
Okay, all right, that's fair. I mean, listen, I'll take it from you instead of the media, because then I go back to Pittsburgh, like you said. You played a Friday night game against Pittsburgh. We lose 4-2. The next night we play in St. Louis. We win 8-1. And listen, Either St. Louis sucks really bad, which isn't the case, or you guys were just fired up on the second half of a back-to-back.
Well, think about it. Like our first period wasn't great. They had a bunch of chances, and Logan made some unreal saves, and we were tied 1-1. So we kind of got fortunate to get out of that first period tied 1-1. So I think, if you can, like I said, you can weather the storm in that first period and kind of get your feet back under you, and you're feeling like, okay, it's just a regular hockey game. I think that goes a long way. So I think we got to try to jump on them early tonight, because I feel like if you get down 2 or 3, 4-0 in the first, if we take advantage of that, then they're really, the wind's really out of their sails.
I gotcha. Hey, one other thing about the schedule. So I was looking, like I said, tonight we're home against Toronto, and then we leave Friday night. You're in Denver to play the Avalanche, and then Sunday night you're on the road in Vegas to play the Golden Knights. That looks like to me a Saturday night off in Vegas. Do we have a team outing planned?
No team outing planned. Maybe if there was a day off the next day, there might be something planned. But
it's an 8 o'clock game at night. Come on, Dylan.
I think it's maybe 8 o'clock Eastern time, but I think it's 6 o'clock Vegas time, which is even worse. So no, I'm sure the guys are going to get some good dinner in. There's 1,000 good places to eat there. Definitely my favorite place to go to play on the road.
Is it really?
We're all looking forward to that. Oh yeah, the rink is just awesome. Like it's like a concert every time you get on the ice. Like there's so much going on. It's loud. Every fan is going crazy. They I don't know. I can't really describe it. It's awesome.
Hey, so, and I know, like, you get Utah on next week on Monday, so that'll be an arena, obviously, that you haven't played in before. Have you played in every rink at this point?
At this point. So Utah's the only one.
Is there one, like, if you love playing in Vegas on the road, is there one you hate?
I want to say, for whatever reason, I don't usually play that well in Vancouver. So I think it's like a cool place to go and play, and it's a cool city. For some reason, Vancouver for me is never a good one.
All right. Last thing. They will always say by American Thanksgiving, teams will know what kind of team they are, how they are. Like by American Thanksgiving, you have to have everything figured out, right? You feel good? I mean, it's a week away, 2 weeks away. Do you feel good about where everything is?
Yeah, I think it's hard not to. I think just based on where we were last year to where we are this year. I mean, I remember hearing that stat last year at some point about if you're in the playoffs, you're going to make the playoffs or something. I would like to look back and know if we were in the playoffs. I feel like we were, but I don't really know. No, I think we're in a nice spot. We've started out well. I think we know the way our team can play, which is obviously a good thing. We kind of have our own team identity, and we're finding ways to win games, whether it's scoring goals or shutting teams down or grinding it out. So no, it's a good mix to have, and we've been playing well.
And it seems like, just watching, obviously, but it seems like it is a tight knit, good group in the room.
Yeah, we have fun for sure. I think that starts from the top with Ovi. He enjoys it. He makes it light. He's always having fun. He loves scoring goals. He loves when other guys score. I'm not sure if you saw, we sung Happy Birthday to Carbs after the game.
Yeah, I saw that video.
I've never done that to a coach before. So,
right.
The boys are having fun. Definitely hockey's fun right now. So we gotta ride while it's hot.
Excellent. Best of luck tonight. The Caps take on the Maple Leafs. Dylan Strome, appreciate the time. Thank you, brother.
No problem. Thanks, Elliot.